I started Kill Team about 3 months ago, and there's a huge 48-person tournament coming up called the Parade of Fights at Shiv Games, somewhere December 9th, I believe. And the problem is, I don't think I'm good enough to do a tournament. Now, everyone at the tournament has told me, the only way to get good at tournaments is to do them. Just show up, play, have fun. So that's what I'm gonna do. But I want to be good enough at the tournament that I don't just absolutely lose. I don't have delusions. I'm not going to come in first place. We have some of, I think, the best players probably in North America, maybe even the world here. So first place is off the table. But I want to place well enough that I don't lose every single match. So this is my journey from going from absolutely nothing to hopefully not winning, but doing a personal best at the Parade of Fights coming up in December. So as a new player, I got a lot of wonderful advice on how to get started at tournaments and really how to start Kill Team, and I thought I'd share a couple pieces of those wisdom, as well as interview some of the local players to get their wisdom as well. The number one thing I was taught was by a person named Tyler, who is an absolutely wonderful teacher, huge in the Kill Team community here in the KTC, Kill Team Cascadia. You'll hear me mention them a lot. Wonderful group. If you're in the Pacific Northwest, make sure you join them. It is an incredible group. But the most important thing I learned that I want to pass on, so if you're out there thinking, hey, I want to get better at Kill Team, I want to start tournaments, this is the thing that turned it all around for me. And that is activations. There is this thought when you're playing with your minis and your guys that you've got to get the objectives right away, right? So come turn one, I would immediately okay, I need to run out there and grab that objective turn one to put me in the lead. And it would put me in the lead for turn one. But then I would immediately, that person would get taken out, I would be down people, I'd have a disadvantage for the rest of the match. So what Tyler taught me was your activations really, really matter. So instead of doing something immediately, remember that you might have anywhere from 6 to 10 to 12, maybe even 14, depending on your team, activations per turn. So you don't have to do that critical thing on activation 1. You can save it for activation 5 or 6, or if you're going last, you can get it done very last before your opponent or after your opponent has no more activations left, and then all of a sudden they can't do anything to counter that move you did. So you do those small activations that don't really matter as much up front. You do the positioning, you put pressure on, but you don't have to run out into the open. You don't have to run and grab the objectives on the very first turn. That has changed my entire mindset for how I am playing the game, how I'm approaching it, and that's how I'm going to approach the tournament, is a very conservative, really think about each activation and don't do the most obvious move first. You can save that for a little bit later. So why did you start playing Warhammer or Kill Teams?
I was curious what Warhammer was, and so I came in to ask about Warhammer and started learning everything that you needed to get. And the team I was wanting to play, the Codex wasn't out, and everyone said wait till the Codex comes out. So I started playing Kill Team until Warhammer, until I got my new Codex, till I can start trying Warhammer. So, and I've been playing Kill Team ever since, because the Codex still hasn't dropped yet.
Why should someone get into Kill Team?
I think of it as like a chess game with guns. So it's very tactical. You have to strategically place guys, move them. You're always thinking 1 or 2 moves ahead. And I find it fun. It's not just straight move forward, this guy takes that guy out. At the end of the day, it all comes down to dice rolls and sometimes strategy.
What is your favorite bit of lore in the Warhammer universe?
I don't know a lot of the lore, honestly. So I really couldn't say on that. I haven't researched enough of it to know, honestly.
What are you doing to prepare for the tournament coming up?
Just playing as many games as I can get. Practicing. I mean, constantly learning from mistakes, and that's the best way to get better at it.
Who are you going to play in the tournament?
Probably Intercession, because I have a couple teams I've tried. One I'm not super comfortable with, and one that's just too swingy for me, so I don't think it's very competitive for me. So for now, I'm just using Intercession because that's the one I know until I find another team I like.
Who do you think is going to be in the top 1, 2, or 3 at the tournament? Can you call who's going to win?
No, because I'm not sure who's all in it. I haven't really looked to see who's all playing in it. So without knowing who's all playing in it, I couldn't really answer that.
Awesome.
So I have 3 questions for you today.
Okay.
What is your favorite piece of Warhammer lore? Why should a new person get into Warhammer? And what is your favorite thing that's ever happened in a game?
My favorite piece of Warhammer lore is the Star Child. If you go back far enough and long enough, there's a piece of fluff about how there is a fragment of the Emperor that was placed in a child, that where he's going to be replaced at some time, and the Inquisition is doing their damnedest to find him so they can find somebody else to take over the position as the Emperor of of mankind.
I had no idea.
Okay, what was the other question?
So what was your favorite moment that happened in a game?
I wouldn't say it's the most favorite moment, but it's the one that a lot of the guys from what I've been playing with know me for. Not my most shining moment. We're at the top of a tournament. I've almost got I've almost got the game in hand. I'm playing my Eldar. My avatar is screaming down the hill. All I have to do is kill this rhino. It only has 1 wound left on it. It's his turn. He decides that he's going to tank shock me with his 1 wound left. All I have to do is not roll boxcars, or not roll snake eyes, excuse me. I roll snake eyes. The rhino with 1 wound kills my avatar and goes rolling off to win the game.
That is, you can prepare as much as you want for the game, but you can never prepare for the dice. Last question. Why should a new person get into Warhammer or KT or into the universe or the game?
So, Warhammer and most of Games Workshop games teaches you a myriad of skills, whether it's art, mathematics, strategy, history, socializing. One of the things that we really took a hit on during the COVID era was the ability to socialize with other individuals and get together and do things. There are so many art skills that we can teach each other on, whether it's how to paint the models, how to assemble them, the reason why the models look how they do, where the armor comes from, how historically how the stuff comes together, even how loosely based they are built on, from what periods of history and things like that. These are all things we can teach each other. And I feel if you don't learn something from walking away from the game, then and it's fun, then maybe it's not for you. But I think that we all learn stuff from it, and it can't hurt to socialize. That's what I've been playing this thing for over 30 years.
Thank you so much. Actually, I got one last one because I remember you talking about this. Tell me about your team.
So when we started building, we started this edition of Kill Team. I had this idea of that the names we had to have names for our guys, and I had this kind of funny idea that The Grey Knights are basically guys that are destroying spirits. I said, well, what is it that the Ghostbusters do? They destroy spirits, or they capture them. And so I named each one of my guys after members of the Ghostbusters. So so it's Ray, Egon, Winston, and the gang. And I had to add Lewis on there afterwards, and they've even had to add another guy. I haven't figured out what to name that particular individual. And they're led by Peter, and they've been working on Mars, and their armor's gotten a little bit redder, and they've been working with the Inquisition out there, trying to hold back the forces of Zool. But they're my kill team that I play the most of. They're pretty easy to play, they're simple, and they're a lot of fun.
So with the upcoming tournament, everyone's really excited, and there's a lot of new players who are like, well, I kind of want to play or get into it. What advice would you give to someone who wants to get into Kill Team for the first time?
So, in playing in a tournament, I would say just go into it ready to have fun. Don't go into it really competitive like. You want to go in and learn as much as you can, because it gives you an opportunity to learn what a lot of different teams are and what they can do. Especially if you're new, you're probably not as familiar with all the different teams. If you're just playing your first game, I would suggest always starting with like Intercessors or the new Justian team. Just starting off small and introducing rules slowly rather than all at once. It gives you a real opportunity to understand every aspect of it, as opposed to going for some of the more complicated teams right off the bat, and then you get really frustrated and not really understand the whole concept. And the biggest thing is the game is based off of points, not killing other enemies. So yes, you can get that kill, but at the end of the day, it's the points that wins the game, not just the kill.
I can't tell you how many people have told me that it's Kill Team, not Point Team. I've heard that so many times as a new player myself. Do you have a favorite memory from like any tournament or game, like the biggest upset or something that just happened that was unforgettable, that just lit the room up? Any favorite memories, upset moments, anything like that to share?
Favorite memory or upset moment? I don't have a favorite, like one isolated memory. I really like the whole all the different aspects of the game. I can tell you that in my last tournament, I won all but one match, and sometimes you tend to remember the things that you do wrong as opposed to the things that you've done right. So I would say that my thing that stands out the most is forgetting that it's a point game and not a kill game, because you get wrapped up into these opportunities where you could take that kill, but really, is that going to win you the game? And then what is, like chess, what is the outcome after you take that kill? What happens to your guy? Is your guy safe, or is your guy now open for them to take the kill? So,
as I've been doing these interviews, there's so many people who talk about the community, the Kill Team Cascadia community, the community here at Shiv Games. What do you think it is that just makes our community here so awesome that just everyone talks about how wonderful the community we have here in the Pacific Northwest?
The community is why I actually started playing Kill Team. So I had never played Kill Team, never even really heard of Kill Team. I've heard of 40K, and I came into Shiv, the shop here, and the team was playing, like the community was playing, and they were super welcoming, super open. Hey, we'll teach you. We have, you can use my miniatures. They're just, you don't have to invest the money into it. We'll teach you right now. Like you can learn later. And just the warmness of, they want to grow the community and they want people to enjoy it and not have it be a toxic, competitive environment. So this community is just so welcoming and so almost like it's almost like a small little family that you've only been in. You could only have come for a couple of weeks and already feel like you're just kind of a part of it instantly, just because of how friendly people are, and you share stories about these kills and these teams and these matches and these different situations, and it's the reason why I play the game. Honestly, if the community wasn't here, then I probably wouldn't have ever picked it up or ever started.
Awesome. Last question. What is your favorite fun piece of lore in the Warhammer universe?
I haven't had a lot of the lore aspects yet. I haven't dived into it too much. But I was talking to Kit earlier today, and she was telling me about the Kroot, because she's really big into the to the lore, and she was telling me about the Kroot and how they don't have ways of using the bathroom, and so they secrete everything from sweat glands and everything, and they because of it they smell like curdled milk. And I think Kroot have the most interesting, because a lot of the lore is like what they eat they turn into kind of situation. Like their dogs are actually the same as their people, but it's because of what they ate they turned into these dogs. So that's the favorite parts that I have.
We always need more Kroot love. Thanks for the interview.
Thank you.
So you're a judge for the upcoming Parade of Fights coming up. For someone who's never been to a Warhammer tournament, what's it like?
So our kill team tournaments, they're a little different. They're, I would say, both intense and immeasurably fun. Our tournament goers, they really like to play kill team. They really like to get into the lore, the setting, the grimdark everything, but at the same time, they all want to just have fun, right? So as a new player coming in, it's incredibly electric, because you have fans of everything Warhammer coming in to play this, and you get invested and you become friends with everyone because everyone wants to talk about it, right? So even if you're not good at the game, or you feel you aren't good at the game, you're gonna have fun. You're gonna walk away with tons of new contacts. Everybody in KTC is gonna be super excited to see you there. So yeah, that's probably the biggest takeaway, is not worrying about the game itself, but just going to have fun.
Thank you so much for that. You touched on the lore. What would you say your favorite fun fact of the lore is, or your favorite thing in all of the lore?
Oh man, that is rough. So my favorite faction in the 40k universe is Adeptus Sororitas. They are by far my favorite aesthetic, because I like to imagine them as angry nuns with giant flamethrowers, right? They see something that needs to not be around, they will flamethrower it to melting into nothing. It's great. So that's kind of my favorite thing. But I mean, other than that, the Primarchs are cool, right? Purple orcs are cool. Red on orc cars is cool. No, there's just a ton of small stuff, but by far I think Sisters of Battle or Adeptus Sororitas probably take the cake. Just imagining them as just angry, kind of faceless, massive nuns just coming at you with giant flamethrowers. It's super good.
What would you say, from all the judging you've done, what is the biggest upset or the greatest moment that's ever had a tournament people still talk about to this day?
So the biggest upset that I've seen, the biggest kind of emotional roller coaster or most exciting match that I've seen, in my opinion, was actually not at one of our events, but at the Tacoma GT this last, I believe, June or July. Matt Wilhelm was fighting Greg Marquino, I believe his last name is. Our lead judge. I should probably know his last name, but whatever. Yeah, so Matt was fighting Greg, and it was coming down to the wire. Matt had a small advantage on Greg, and Greg tried to do a Hail Mary. I can't remember exactly what he was doing, but he was trying to go around with his Phobos unit to kill a intercessor off of a point or an objective so that he could try to control it for a last-ditch effort. And it was statistically unlikely, but he ended up missing everything, and that it didn't directly cost him the entire tournament, but it cost him first place for sure. That definitely added to everything. And it was a good game overall. They played incredibly tight, but it just came down to the dice, right? That was the final moment where it's just I need this to work, otherwise there is no coming back. And it just was what it was.
You can have the best tactics in the game, but you can't control those dice. You just never know when you're gonna get those ones.
Exactly.
So for someone who wants to get into the hobby, and you see there's a lot of lore and there's a lot to learn, and there's so many rules and so many teams, what would be your one piece of advice to just get playing or get into it? What would you say to a new player for that?
So I know a lot of people will say something along the lines of try to find an aesthetic that you like, or try to find a faction that you like that you think looks a little cooler than everything else. And I think that's true. I think that you should definitely find something that you like in the thing that you're trying to build and paint and dedicate probably way too much time into, because you're going to be a little slower, and that's okay. But I actually think what's more important is trying to find a community member that you can actually have a dedicated friendship with that will want to encourage you to do it. When I first started getting into Warhammer, my biggest hurdle was I bought, I don't even know, $200 worth of plastic. I bought a Stormcast Eternals versus Nurgle Demons box set, and it was super awesome. I loved both sides, and I just wanted to play with everything. And then the guy that got me into it, he kind of drifted away a little bit. So I let my models sit because I didn't have any motivation to, right? So for me, I think for a new player, the biggest thing that you could do is try to find a dedicated person that will want to keep you invested. It's just kind of like a gym buddy too, right? You want to go to the gym and work out. Well, the easiest way to do that is to find somebody else that's going to encourage you to do that, because it's a little bit of a chore when you first start, trying to learn how to build your models without having sprue lines, for example, or trying to paint your models for the first time and doing too thin coats. What does that even mean, right? What is too thin coats? So yeah, just trying to find your Warhammer buddy and having it work out for you.
Excellent. I don't know if you're going to be able to answer this one, so feel free to tell me no, but who do you think's going to win the tournament?
I don't know. I honestly don't. I think that the Pacific Northwest is set up to be very competitive. We're not really showy necessarily, so we aren't going to be on some big screens, unlike Brandon Bean, who's at Worlds right now, but that's a different story. I guess Matt too. Matt's there as well. Yeah, I don't know. We have some incredibly impressive players, and Tyler, KTC's lead, is going to be there too, and so he's going to try to show up. So yeah, I think that that much like any of our tournaments, it's all going to be dependent on who wants to win it, right? Who has the most passion for the moment and whose dice are gonna collide correctly. So yeah, I couldn't tell you.
All right, last question. It has been put forth to me by many people that Ultramarines are the best Space Marines. How would you reply to that?
Well, they're only the best because Alpha Legion is there. So yeah, just like, Imperial Fists are the best because Alpha Legion's there. So that makes the most sense to me. Any of the factions are the best because of Alpha Legion.
So first question, what are you doing to prepare for the upcoming tournament?
I'm making sure my intercessor squad, the Space Marines, are painted and everything, the base is coated and all that.
Awesome. A lot of people in these interviews have talked about like the amazing community that we seem to have around here. How do you think we get that? Like what caused our community to just be as awesome as it is?
Well, I'd say a couple things. One, we always come together on a weekly basis and play each other, and we give each other hints and tips on how to better our strategics.
Awesome. Do you have any predictions for who's going to win this tournament, or first, second, third, anything like that?
Prediction? No, but I will say that some of the people I know are really good are Tristan and Kit are really good players that usually do pretty good in the last couple of tournaments.
Awesome. Now you said you've done a few tournaments before. What is like your favorite third tournament? So do you have like a favorite moment from tournaments past, like a huge roll, a huge upset, anything like the biggest moment that happened in the past?
I think one of the exciting moments is when usually you go to tournaments, you feel like you're outnumbered, but so far the 3 tournaments have been, this will be the third one. One of them was here, the other one was up in Portland, and there was almost half the people there were Shiv's games. And now it's here again, so you get a comfortable environment when you have the community surrounding.
Awesome. What would you say to someone who is thinking about like getting into Kill Team, or they're like just on the fence? Like what advice do you have for a new player, or why they should get into it?
I would recommend them getting into it, but I would recommend them either, as you already interviewed Kevin. Kevin is a good teacher, Tyler's a good teacher, and everybody here is willing to help you with what you need to know. We play fair here and an honest group.
Awesome. Last question, as you're preparing for the tournament, and there's a new tournament probably coming up here soon, do you think you'll continue to do tournaments?
Yeah, I think I would. Yeah, like I said, I mean, if it continues to be good and you have a friendly atmosphere, that's one of the biggest key.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
And thank you for this opportunity. You guys can also find me on Ranger 92308. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So first question, if someone wanted to get into Kill Team for the first time, or they're kind of nervous about getting into it, what advice would you give to a completely new player?
Ooh, I don't know. I mean, thinking is hard. Completely new player, I would say, like, realistically, just like make the jump, do the thing. It's a super easy game to get into. Start just talking to people. I mean, like, you can find a group like KTC, like that, just chat. People will give you all the resources, easy access to all those things. Buy a starter set, buy like a group of cool models you see, and just start playing around. It's a really fun group of people, and that will help people get into it. I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't have great advice for that.
Hey, buy something and get into it is wonderful advice. You just got to start sometimes, right? So with the tournament coming up that everyone's kind of practicing for, what are you doing in particular to get ready for the tournament?
I'm less practicing for the tournament, just because I feel like I know my team pretty well. I mean, if you're looking for like tournament preparation, just playing as many games as possible against the hardest opponents you know is really good. My personal preparation is I am building a display board. That's what I'm doing.
So that's taking up all of my time. I have not played nearly enough games. I don't expect to win anything.
That was actually going to be my next question. Do you have anyone favored to win? Do you think you know who's going to win first, second, third?
Oh, I mean, that depends. I don't know entirely everyone who's coming. I know, this is one of the few tournaments Tyler's going to be in, so he's a pretty favored shot. Guy's insane. But I mean, if we have, I don't know if Fabi's coming. If he's in it, that's also pretty. I would say at least Tyler, Fabi for top three. I mean, I don't know who else is coming, but those would be my best bets. They're insane.
Wonderful. Out of all the lore in Warhammer, what would you say is your favorite tidbit of lore? That one thing you love to share with everyone?
There's so many good things. I think my favorite thing, there's a story of a group of orcs who love killing so much, love fighting so much that they chased these corn demons into the warp, into this corn hell planet that was just fighting all the time, and they all died. And they impressed the chaos god Khorne so much that he was like, cool, I'm gonna resurrect you guys every day so that you can fight on this planet every day for the rest of your existence. I think that's just really fun. It's nice that there's some happy orcs out there just living their best lives.
Doing the crumpin', what they do best.
Yeah.
All right, last question. You mentioned the community here, the KTC community. As I've been doing this video, so many people have talked about how wonderful our community is, how wonderful it is to have this group. What is it that you would say makes our community so special?
Just how open and accepting everyone is. I've not found a single person here who's tried to gatekeep anything, tried to just keep anyone out. It has always been, oh, you're interested in Kill Team? Okay, here's all the things you need. Here's all the things you can do. Here's a bunch of free crap for you to start. Anyone's ever had an issue, immediately solved, it's dealt with. There's no problem people. Everyone's nice and kind and accepting of everything. And in a wargaming space, it's really hard to find. And I think that's just what makes this place so special, is just how utterly accepting of anyone and everything people are. They're just kind and helpful, and it's a beautiful place.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for the interview.
The only thing I don't know how to practice for the tournament, but a lot of people have told me about, is tournament fatigue. This tournament starts around 10 a.m. and it's going all the way until 8 p.m. That is a long time to be playing Warhammer. I do believe that they'll also be selling booze and other adult beverages, which means you've got drinking, you've got exhaustion, you've got, what we call decision exhaustion, where you've made so many decisions that it's hard to make decisions. So as the tournament weighs on, you're going to get sloppier and sloppier. So that's going to be something that I know exists, but I don't really know how to counter that yet. So we might have to ask the community, how the heck do you cope with doing 3-4 matches back to back to back and not getting tired, not getting sloppy, not making the wrong decisions? It's almost the day of the tournament. Months of practice have all come together. I've started winning games. I think my goal is realistic. I think I can win 1 or 2 matches, but it also depends on 2 things that I have no control over. One, who I get matched with. If my first and second matches, are randomly selected as the best players in the Pacific Northwest, I don't stand a chance. I have no control over that, and I have no control over the dice. No matter how much you practice, no matter how good you get, those dice will always, always, always be against you. I'm really excited to do this tournament. When I first started, I was like, I signed up for it, but I'm not really sure that I wanted to, 48 people locked in a small room playing the same game over and over again. That doesn't sound fun. But at the same time, I used to do LAN parties back in the day, and that was about the same thing, right? A bunch of people locked in a small, hot room playing the same game over and over and over again, and I loved those. So I signed up, and all that reservation is gone. I am so hyped for this tournament. I'm so excited to get to play in this tournament. I'm so excited to see all the people that I've been meeting with week after week as they've been improving. So it's not just me who's been practicing, but this whole group of people who've been practicing, and watching them get better, get serious about this. It is going to be a fun, exciting, electric event, and I cannot wait to post footage from the actual event itself. The dice rolls on the table, the heartbreak, the upsets, everything about it. This is going to be probably one of the most fun events of the entire year, and I'm excited to bring it to you. It is the day of the tournament. I am so excited for this. This is what we've been training for months. The tournament hasn't even started yet, and check out this crowd. We've already got so many people in here. There's going to be between 46, 48, maybe 50 people crammed in this little space as we're getting ready to play Kill Team for the Parade of Fights. Hopefully my mic is picking this up. It is loud in here already, and I'm trying to get out of everyone's way as we are, like I said, trying to cram a lot of people in this small building. So the tournament hasn't started yet. It's the morning of. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I had a late night last night though, so I'm a little bit tired, but I'm definitely ready for it.
Do you think you're going to win today?
Oh, absolutely not. Totally not. No, I'm just here to have fun.
Awesome. How about you? It's the morning of. Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm excited, but I'm kind of in the same boat. Very, very tired. I don't think I'm going to win, but I'm just here to enjoy and have fun. So,
What teams are you guys running today?
I'm running Intercession because, again, I had a late night last night, so I need a lower rules team.
yeah, I got Casterton for that reason because they're easy to use, simple, easy on the brain. So.
We've talked about it before that the fatigue is real, tournament fatigue. After 1, 2, 3 rounds, you start to feel it. So thank you so much and good luck today.
Thank you so much.
So far, a lot of people have told me they're not ready for an interview because they are too tired. So my hope is that round 1, I can sneak a win in by a bleary-eyed opponent who hasn't quite had their caffeine yet. So it's the morning of the tournament. How excited are you feeling?
I'm pumped. I'm going to bring my orcs. I'm going to hopefully have fun.
Playing the Orc Commandos today. What team are you hoping to not encounter today?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't played in like 2 months, so I'm happy just to get any game in, really.
Excellent. Do you think you're going to win today?
Probably not. But I'll have fun, so.
That's all that matters. How about yourself? Are you feeling pumped for this morning?
I am pretty pumped. I'm really nervous, too.
Really nervous? Have you done a tournament before?
Nope, this is my first tournament.
Hey, me too. There's a few newbies here, so that's kind of why I'm doing this video, to show all the new people coming into this. Who are you playing this morning?
I'm playing the Intercession team.
All right, so it's the morning before the tournament, or I guess the tournament's going to be starting in about, 10, 20 minutes. Yep. So are you guys excited?
Always. Oh, yeah. Playing toy soldiers all day.
Excellent. What teams are you running today?
I brought my Phobos strike team. I have Legionaries.
Legionaries and Phobos strike team. Excellent. Do you think you guys are going to win?
I'll win a game.
No.
Everyone checking their phones, checking in, and getting ready. It's only about 15 minutes until we start, and it is electric in here. In addition to being a tournament for Kill Team, there is a white elephant going on where everyone is going to walk away with a gift. So win or lose, everyone is going to walk away with something. I think it's all Warhammer related, but I'm not 100% sure yet, so we'll have to see when everyone starts opening these up. The catch is, if you win your game, you get to steal someone else's present. So very exciting for that. One little awesome thing for me is these are my Little Pony Marines. I was kind of nervous people wouldn't like them, but I've already had quite a few people stop by and tell me how much they like the My Little Pony Marines, which is refreshing compared to if you go on the online community, there's quite a lot of people who've told me that they hate my Little Pony Marines, that it's absolute heresy and that I should quit the hobby. So it's refreshing to have such kind people come out and tell me that they like my paint job and they like my creativity.
Do not have personal bubbles. Bring it on in. Maybe that's just me. All right, is that everybody? Anybody left?
Cool, we're good.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you all for being part of this Christmas event, the Parade of Fights. So, as you can imagine, or have read and blasted out to you on Discord, this is a white elephant event, which means that you will be assigned a present. Well, you'll be able to pick out a present out of the remaining presents that are left as we go through the line. And if you win against your opponent in the first 3 rounds, you have the option of swapping your gift with theirs. So if you win, you could potentially get a better gift. But keep in mind, you're not allowed to open the gift until after 3rd round. So you don't know exactly what you're getting, and some gifts are a little snaky.
Then you shake the present. You can shake the presents. Just no peeking, no opening them. Really, everyone's everything in here is $15 at minimum, and it goes up from there. Should be a good time for everyone. It's just all about having fun.
Just know, if there is a puppy, you might damage it. All right. A little bit about this event. All right, everybody, calm down. I'm going to try to get through these announcements as quickly as you can so we can get into pairings. But a little bit about this event. As you know, KTC always has a charity component. So the charity that we're going with is a
Palestinian Children's Relief Fund.
So KTC is not affiliated with any politics that are going on surrounding Israel and Palestine, but we believe that civilians are civilians and children are children. So we wanted to at least help out there. So proceeds that comes from this event will assist with that. With that said, another note, we will not have the bounty board for this event since we're putting all of our eggs in this basket, which means that there's no charity raffle. But presents galore, and everyone will walk away with something.
So for my first team, I'm up against the novitiates. I'm playing against Zach. Flip the camera around. Hello, Zach. So my hopes and predictions for this match is a devastating loss on my part. I just learned all their little acts of faith and things like that. So hopes are low, but morale is high. So we'll see how this round goes. All right, I just got done with the first round. We are breaking for lunch, and I lost, but not nearly as bad as I thought. 17-19, Novitiates versus Strikeforce Justian. Not bad. I've heard some other people were going 21-9, so I did not get noob stomped nearly as badly as I thought I was going to. Definitely learned a lot about fighting the sisters. I do not like fighting those novitiate sisters of battles, but it was still a great first round. Now it's time for some lunch, and we'll do some interviews with some other people if we can get some people to talk about their matches and how things went. This is a time lapse of round 2, just to kind of give you an idea of how chaotic it is, how many people are here, how cramped it is. There were 4 people to each table. There was just enough room to basically have a dice tray, your dice, and only the essential pieces. I, of course, brought some recording equipment, and I had no room for everything. It was absolute mayhem as everyone was packed in here, but everyone was polite, respectful, and it ended up going really well. I gotta say, I really appreciate Shiv's policy that everyone has to be showered and wear deodorant, because without this would have been absolutely miserable, but the community was wonderful, and this was a great time here in round 2. So, first match of the tournament is down. How did you do?
Not too good. Okay, I lost my game, but all good. I'm just trying to get better. I've been playing for about a year now, maybe a bit longer. And, it's great being out here because you get to play different levels of people, right? And, so went down 22-12. Was a good game, but, can only get up from here.
And what team are you playing today?
I'm playing Hunter Clade, or Adaptus Mechanicus. It's kind of the only team I play. I own like 1 or 2 other teams, but I've kind of invested in them, seeing as though they're more than a 1-box team. So, I like them. And I like their look too, so it's pretty cool.
And is this your first tournament, or have you been to other tournaments?
Yeah, so this is my 3rd tournament. It's my 2nd here at Shiv, and my first one was at Tacoma. So that was kind of a big one to start, kind of jumping in the deep end. But it was fun. So yeah, I did pretty well at Tacoma. I didn't do too well at my last one at Shiv, but yeah, third tournament, so third time's a charm, hopefully.
So I know it's still early in the day, but comparing it to the other tournaments, where would you rank this one? Is this your favorite tournament ever so far? Yeah?
Yeah, 100%. It's got to be.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
All right, the second round is down, and I lost round 2. Starting to lose hope that I'm going to hit my goal and win at least one match, but we still got 2 more to go, so hopefully, it's quieting down a little bit, so hopefully people rally on round 3 and get back into it. The last match went down to the wire, though, 19-16, so I'm down but not out. Of course, sometimes in between rounds, we have to get out of the building. With 48 people crammed in such a small space, it gets very hot. So we're sitting outside enjoying some of that Oregon rain right now, cooling off. We got a 5-minute break before the next round. We're going into round 3. Some people have 2 wins, some people have 2 losses. Spirits are high and is just as fun as when we started, 6 hours ago now? As this is my first tournament, I cannot tell you how exciting it is that it hasn't worn off, the novelty hasn't worn off. With 2 rounds down, how are you feeling so far?
It's been a ton of fun. I may have lost both the rounds, but my Grok killed someone. They killed a vet guard with a hatchet, which is insane.
I don't think I've ever seen a Grot actually kill someone in combat, so...
It was super, just random chance, I guess, but it happened. I'm taking that home as a victory,
Do you have high hopes for round 3, or are you going into round 3 thinking you're going to get skunked?
I imagine I might get skunked, but if the Grok can get another kill, which it probably won't happen, that will make my day.
Sometimes you take the wins where you can get them. Thank you. In between rounds here, we have the end of round 2 switching to round 3 while we're waiting for the new listings to come out. You can see everyone kind of reviewing the battlefields, talking about how their games went, discussing strategy, things that they like to see, the epic rolls of the day. I can't tell you, it's already been a day or 2 since the tournament has been over, and I'm still recalling the time that my opponent rolled all 1s on a hot shot that just absolutely took out their own person, or when I rolled a 2, a 2, a 2, and a 1 and missed every shot on a critical moment. Sometimes these games really did come down to just one good roll, one bad roll, one bad tack op, one bad strategic ploy. It was really down to the wire on some of these, and that's kind of the exciting part of the game, is you can strategize as much as you want, but sometimes those dice are just always against you. Some of the fun you can still see here is people have got their gifts still out. As people have been winning, they've been stealing each other gifts, and we see these gifts are still all over the place, waiting to see what they are. I can't wait. At the end of next round, we get to finally open these up and see who gets what. Here's some sped up footage from round 3, the final actual round. There was a round 4 where, the top players fought it out to, come in first, second, third, all that. But this was the last round where everyone was here. And as you can see, there is a lot of people crammed in here, but it was an absolute blast. Again, this was my first tournament, and I had so much fun doing it. There was just great time to play games. I learned a lot. Everyone was friendly. And that's the one thing I gotta say, is that I didn't run into a single person that I didn't have fun with. There was no bad attitudes. I didn't run into any sore losers. No one was throwing fits or, storming out of the tournament. Everyone was just having such a great time. And compared to other events or other get-together of the nerdy persuasion, you think of Dungeons and Dragons, you think of Comic-Con, things like that, you usually have some bad encounters with people. Every now and then you run into people you don't want to meet again, or people who are a little bit too obsessed, or, some sort of personality conflict. And I did not have that here. I cannot say it enough that the community we have is so wonderful, and it was such a great time. If you have not done a tournament and you are in the Pacific Northwest, where KTC is, or CATS are, this Discord group who helped me to put together this video, I strongly encourage you, reach out, come join us and have some fun, because this was such a memorable and wonderful time for me. Right, so round 3 has ended. I technically tied, but I did win more on the secondary points, which is technically the tiebreaker win. I'll take that as my win. Goal accomplished. Great tournament, great fun. The third session, like I said, is just about over. It's finishing up, and we're all going to open up our presents together as the tournament draws to a close. And then there is the fourth round for the super winners to see who is the winner, take home everything from this tournament. So we're going to get some footage of the gifts. We're going to get some footage of the last few events. We're going to get pictures of the winner. So stay tuned. There is more to come. I don't know if you can hear the noise here or not, but these folks have been playing Warhammer for almost 8 hours, going on 9, and they're still as happy and cheery and fun as we have had all day. It's just a testament to how wonderful this community is, how much fun it is. Hopefully you can actually hear me. I don't know. It is so loud in here. Next time for sure, I am bringing headphones. That is not something people prepared me for. So pro tip, if you're going to come to a tournament, bring yourself some ear protection of some sort because it gets loud. All right, it is almost time for presents. Everyone's getting excited. We're submitting the final scores. We're just about ready to get into it. I haven't shown you mine yet, so let me grab it. No one stole it from me. My prediction is this is a new player kit. So like 3 barricades, markers, those sort of things. I'm guessing that's what I got. Doesn't have much of a shake to it, so mine never got stolen. So let's see how lucky I am when I open this up. All right, moment of truth. We are getting the presents open.
Yeah, I got a box! Woo! What? I got a box! Me too! I got a bigger box. Ooh,
An Amazon box. All right, let's see what everyone got. Let's go around, look at some gifts. What did you get?
I got a Custodes Blade Champion.
A Custodes Blade Champion. What'd you get?
I go for the biggest box, and I got this.
You got the big box. You got Legionaries. All right, the MVPs of the tournament. All right, let's see what else we got out here. Got any gifts to show off?
Go, some Morkborg.
A Morkborg. All right.
This one. Sorry, I faced it the wrong way.
That is awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Got any gifts you want to show off for the video? Ooh, Tech Priests. Water foam. Ooh, that is a nice white. And the cursed dice, the dice that people say are the best or worst dice. Yeah. All right. Care to show off what you got? Space Marines. Breaking news, I was able to do a trade and I got myself some Space Marines. Super awesome. What did you get? You got the Commandos. All right.
My favorite kill team.
That they are an excellent, excellent team.
What did you get?
All right, let's continue the hunt and see what everyone got. Do you want to show off what you got? Necromundo, some vehicles. Wicked. Hey, perfectly valid. All right, the top 8 were just announced, and I'm going to say, I feel I fought 2 people in the top 8. I lost to both them, but it was very, very close, so that's very encouraging that I was like 3 points off from being in the top 8. So I will take that as a very wonderful sign that I've improved so much since I started playing just a few months ago. What a wonderful journey the Parade of Fights has been. We're going to cover a little bit of the last couple fights and maybe a little bit of the parade, and then we will be out of here. All right, let's walk around. These are the final 8 tables. These are the finalists, the big of the big, the winners of the winners. The winners of the winners. Doing the last final battle of the night. Gifts have been given out. Everyone's had a wonderful tournament, but now we need to see who is going to win all of it. This here is the final announcement for the winners. Unfortunately, you can see I moved the camera around a few times trying to get a good position. I didn't want to interrupt them, and I could not get my microphone close enough to pick up the actual audio of the announcements, so I apologize. You're going to have to deal with my voice here rather than the official announcements. In third place, we had James. In second place, Connor. And first place, winner take all, was tomorrow. It was a wonderful tournament. They gave out some great gifts. Again, I'm sorry I couldn't get the camera closer. You can't see, but they got some big boxes full of all sorts of goodies for being winners. They announced another tournament, and again, they shared their deep thanks for us all being here and this wonderful tournament that was made wonderful by all the people, all the organizers, all the judges, all the people who came together to make this a memorable, wonderful event. So with the Parade of Fights finally over, 10, 12, probably 14 hours you put in just today, how are you feeling about the tournament now that it's all over?
You know, I'm so happy with how the tournament turned out. Every single one of our tournaments is better than the last. And it really, it's nice to see the evolution of all of our events. It's a lot of work setting up the night before and then just kind of doing everything, my mind's racing the night before. I can't sleep. I get 3 hours of sleep if I'm lucky. And then from there, I'm just full adrenaline all day. But I think this is our second best event ever because Kill Scream was our best one. So, but this was so fun. I think the level of play is even better than it was at Kill Scream, and I'm just so happy with how everyone did and how everyone is just here to support the community and have fun, and it's just so cool.
I know this tournament was a rarity because usually you're organizing and doing things. You actually got to play today. How did you feel getting to play?
It was really nice to be able to play. I am very rusty, is what I realized. I was doing pretty good, and then Zach came in and he just outplayed me real hard. And it just shows that I'm not getting the reps in like I used to. I spend most of my time organizing, like you said, these days, which is a lot of fun, very satisfying. But I need to get on that grind again, So especially with LVO coming up, I really need to put in the reps because I gotta show up and show out. So.
If it makes you feel any better, I lost to Zach too in my first round, so he brought it today. He was hard.
He always brings it, so he's right there for a winner on the next one.
So hopefully someone will watch this video, and the whole thing was about my journey of starting out from nothing and coming to my first tournament and playing. So if someone saw this and said, I want to go to my first tournament or I want to get into Kill Team, what advice would you give them?
The first thing is find a Discord to get into for your region, or whether it's one of the larger Kill Team ones like Command Point or Battle Brothers Tabletop, and then connect with people locally and just go have fun. Go make 4 friends for the day, if it's 4-round tournament, and just, go meet some friends, go shake some hands, and just buy a Kill Team. Have a good time. That's really all it is. Tournaments sound really scary, but they don't have to be. It's really just a group of friends having a reason to get together and hang out for an entire day,
Excellent. Last question. Is there any team that you wish you would have seen today or that wasn't representative that you were sad you didn't see?
No, not at all. I think our meta's incredibly healthy. Hand of Cain. I would have liked to see Salvation before this event, so we could have got Scouts and Hand of Cain. That's the part that hurts me, honestly. I want these new teams. Hopefully they'll be out before LVO, and maybe I can take one of them there. So.
Everyone's talking about how dare you put it in the gift giving guide for Christmas and then not release it for Christmas.
Oh my God.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I know you're tired. I know you've been here all day, so I'll let you go home and finally get some sleep. It's all over. Said and done. Top 8. How do you feel? How do you feel about the tournament now that it's said and done?
I like the tournament. It's a great time. If I had to give any advice to anybody getting into Kill Team, keep playing. The more you play, the better you get.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And with all that said and done, the last few people are wandering out, and that is the end of the Parade of Fights. All that time, all that effort spent turned into a wonderful evening of memories that I think everyone's going to carry with them for many, many years. If you've made it this far, thank you for joining me on this journey. Don't forget to support your local Warhammer store, support your local group. As I've said a few times throughout this video, you know, it's about the community. It's a group of people coming together. Kill Team just happens to be what we play. It could be anything as just a good excuse to come together and spend time with friends.